haven't made a video for a while, and mainly I've been just focusing on some different studies, and I thought it would be pretty helpful to explain how the studies that I've been doing interlink with astrology. So I've been training in body psychotherapy, and the similarities between astrology and body psychotherapy I think can be really helpful when you use them both as tools for self-knowledge. The birth chart is an indication of both our potential, our shadow, all the aspects of ourselves we consciously interpret and unconsciously manifest. And the unconscious stuff comes through to us through our environment, through the outside world, through relationships with other people, what we attract towards us, or what we're attracted to. And the whole time those things are unconscious, they can be blind spots for issues that we're just not comfortable with. Say, for example, if I have strong Aries or strong Scorpio, and I had an aggressive parent, and I wasn't allowed to exhibit my Martian energy, my physical vitality, and my expression of anger, I suppose, or high energy. That might be inhibited by the parent. The parent might sort of squash that, and then it becomes unresolved within me. I then might seek out in my relationships with other people who are aggressive, who match the relationship I may have had with my father, and I blame them, or I have a resentment towards them because they can express it and I can't, or they play it out for me so I don't have to. You know, there's loads of ways we could look at this, but you'll be able to see it in the birth chart. And if you look at the birth chart without that kind of psychological understanding, you might just think, oh, I've got Mars, Pluto, I'm always going to have issues with power, or I've got Gemini moon, I'm not going to be able to go to depth with my emotions, I'm going to be flighty the whole time. You can really look at the archetype of what these planets mean and start to look for relationships like that within your upbringing, within your social circle, within what you choose for work. And if some of those things aren't serving you, you can really get curious about, okay, what is the opportunity here for growth? How can I look at this this archetypal energy and look at the benefits and say, where am I not getting this? Where am I not getting the evolved aspects of this sign? Because there's a spectrum, right? It's like depending on what you experience as a child growing up, you may hold in your physical body various different responses to I'll use the word trauma, but I don't mean necessarily the extremes of trauma. It could be anything, like I just gave this scenario of the healthy expression of anger or suppression of anger. So that could be seen as a trauma if that pattern is repeated enough times, and you might hold that then in your physical body and carry it throughout life. Depending on those held somatic responses, your ability to then move through your natal chart is either going to be in growth or protection. So you might be an unevolved Scorpio in some senses because of something that happened early on within the family to do with jealousy or manipulation. And if left unresolved, you will then attract that towards you, or that will become also your way of being. If you work on that, then you can potentially move into becoming a more evolved Scorpio because you're not held back anymore by these unresolved issues that you keep having to play out until they're fixed. So that opens you up to a deeper understanding of people and relationship and empathy and understanding. So every trauma has got a benefit to it. Every pain has got a healing and a gift to it. But you have to really look at the whole of the sign and your childhood and your upbringing to say, okay, where am I not getting access to the whole of this potential. And obviously, it takes time to get to know your chart. And if you are working with an astrologer as well as a psychotherapist, it helps you because they're able to see the things that you're not able to see. And they're also able to reframe and give alternative experiences to what was your early childhood patterning. Because that's your familiar, right? You're not going to know if that's different or better or worse or what you should have or what you shouldn't have. It just is what it is. And it always will be what it was. But it doesn't mean that you have to stay stuck or arrested within those ages if there's unresolved issues. And so you might read an interpretation of your sun sign and think, well, you know, let's say, for example, if it's Scorpio, I'm not bitter, I'm not jealous, I'm not manipulative, but I am secretive, and I am, you know, so some of the things might match for you and some of the things might not. And a lot of that is dependent on where the stages of trauma happened in childhood. And you might have had a completely perfect childhood. And therefore, when you read the Scorpio, you relate more to the evolved Scorpio or something like that. Or other parts of your chart have just got more emphasis in your character. Maybe the ones that have got more stress if it's not in the sun sign. So it's a really, really helpful tool. Just to help you get the complete most out of life and really to get a sense of, well, what is it I'm supposed to be doing here? And why do I keep having these certain things coming into my life that I either, and normally it's if you don't like it, right? If you're going on a journey of personal growth, something's happened to you that you think, okay, that's enough, or I can't keep living this way. Relative people who are kind of really, really content think, okay, I'm going to go on a journey of self-discovery. But if you are in that place, maybe it's about saying, okay, how can I give out? How can I give back? What is my service I can give to the world? And then the astrology is also then useful because you can say, okay, where am I best fit in the world? Where am I best fit within myself? What did I come here to do? So I really recommend it. I really recommend that you start to look at astrology with a slightly more broader mindset, not just, oh, I'm a Scorpio, therefore I'm this, I'm an Aries, therefore I'm this, I'm an Aquarius, therefore I can never do that. You can. You just have to look beyond what the actual prescriptive texts are saying.